Okay guys, so without wasting any more time, let's take off. And just to remind us, it's always a good idea to let the drone hover in place just for a minute or a couple seconds. And this is so it can acquire as many satellites as possible. Right now we have a count of 15, and we can also check the UAV forecast just to make sure that everything is good to go. It says we're good to fly today. It's Sunday, and we got 5 miles per hour wind with 30-mile-per-hour gust, and it's going in generally a northerly direction. And also we have no fly zones nearby, so this is great. And visibility is also great because we can see up to 10 miles according to this app. So we're just lifting up, launching out early Sunday morning. And trust me, the fog, that fog that we have out there, that's where we're heading to. We want to get to as close to that fog as possible. And the conditions are very calm. If we look at the attitude meter, we notice that it is just barely banking a little bit to the right. We got some variable winds also coming in from the west, and that's not a lot really, so it's no big deal. So we're just heading out, we're continuing to head out, and the fog is, I think, close to somewhere past 2,000 meters, if I had to guess. So I'll have that in miles on the screen, and in a while I'll be pulling up the map as well just to make sure that everything is as it should be. Checking some onboard stats as well, we are 460 meters in longitudinal distance that's going forward, and we are 22 meters according to our launch point in the air. All right, so I took off from a very high elevation, so that's the reason why it looks so high going over this area here. And I can't wait to get to that fog, guys. There's something mystical about fog, especially when it rolls in early in the morning or late in the evening. There's just something magical that I like about it. And the fog is looking thick, I'm not gonna lie. It looks as if you could literally step out and walk on top of this thing. And I like to see it early in the morning. So if you live in an area where there's a lot of fog, comment down below, and whether or not you've taken your drone there and what you've seen and all that good stuff. All right, so we're recording at 4K. We'll be doing that recording at 4K at 24 frames per second every now and again. Right now, what you're seeing is my screen recording. So at different intervals, you'll see the 4K, and I'm just turning a little bit to the left here so I can be in the center of all that action going on over there. So I'm just continuing out, and we're at 1,000. We're going over 1,000 meters now, and we'll see just how much distance it is to get to that point. Okay, and according to the flight stats here, we have 20 minutes of flight time left, and we have 88% of power in the drone with 24 connected satellites. Notice, guys, that the signal bar is dipping. We're now at 2 bars, and this, I believe, should be past a mile by now, and there the bars are coming back in again. So I'm actually standing behind a tree, and I'm going to show you now what the 4K footage looks like out of the drone, and you can be the judge of that. Look at how majestic it is though. Man, look at the state of that. It's looking nice and clear today. It's perfect conditions to be flying. And we're getting that much closer to the fog, so let's give that a go. The EV value, that's the exposure value, is set at 0.0, which it's the drone way of making sure that the image and the video is exposed properly. So your shutter speed, your white balance, all that good stuff is balanced automatically by the drone itself. So it's got programming algorithms that control that, so that it takes care of us in auto mode. All right, so we're still heading out. We're not too far from the fog now. I think we're significantly closer to it now, and it feels like we're in a jetliner flying over this thing. Look at the state of this fog out here, guys. It's looking so good this morning. So we're going over 1,800 meters, and we are on 82% power. We got 4 bars coming in and going out. We got 25 satellites connected. So even if this thing goes down, and I hope it doesn't, we would still have the GPS coordinates to locate this thing based on where it was last. And look at that, guys. Look at how the fog is sweeping in. We're getting closer, going over 2,000 meters, guys. I guess it's close to my estimation because see, it's now over 2,000 and we are a bit close-ish to the fog. So, I guess I was correct in estimating that one. So we're getting closer, guys. We're nearly in the fog now. Look at this, guys. It's rising up out of the mountains. Oh, and I should say too that um, Hurricane Philippe is in the Caribbean, and it's what is causing all this weather pattern now. So it's in the Caribbean Sea, it's moving around, and with it, we have scattered thunderstorms and showers. So these showers produce all this foggy goodness. So look at this, guys. We are now going over the fog. Some parts are looking thin, other parts are looking not so thin. Okay. I'm just gonna, every now and again, you'll notice that I'm taking videos of this. I want to see what the quality, the 4K quality looks like coming out of camera with no edits at all. So I'm just gonna stop here and I'm panning around to show you guys. Look at the length, look at the distance that this fog covers. So it goes all the way back to that mountain or to those mountains in the background, and just look at the state of this, guys. How majestic is this? Look at the fog. This is one of the best shots I've ever gotten with this thing, to be honest. In one of the other videos, guys, I'm thinking of going literally through the fog. Comment down below if you want to see what that looks like. Rather than flying above it, let's go through it next time. And I'm just panning right, and look at that, guys. The sun is coming from this direction, so you know it's a bit overexposed. We got some lens flare going right there. And look at how it rises from the land. All that all that fog and precipitation is rising up. So just opening the map here, we want to make sure that going back we are charting the most efficient route possible. So I'm just lining up with that red line, guys, making sure that everything is okay, and I'm rocking my gimbal just up a little bit so I can see that horizon. So without wasting any more time, let's come right back in, and you'll notice to the lower left that the triangle, as it's coming back, that would represent our drone. So no matter where this thing is, guys, I can always bring it back as long as we have enough satellites connected. So it's a bit of a safety net with DJI drones, and I trust this thing 100%. Just bringing the map up, and see that blue line, guys, to the right? That represents the path that we took to get out there just now. And the red line is showing the shortest possible path back to that H, which is our home point. We are closing, we're going under 2,300 meters now, still at a altitude of 22 meters, and we are now on 67% battery power. Last time, guys, we went way past this point here, and we came back on about 3% of power. So we could have easily gone further if we wanted to, but again, the objective was just to see the fog, and it looks amazing. So it was a great flight, I think. So coming back, we got some slight banking to the left here. When we were going out, the wind was coming from the west east variable winds, and now it's coming from the east coming back in. So that's expected. And notice how the drone banks just slightly to the left. So it's pitching at a nice angle, not very steep, because it's not very it's not very far past the horizon on the attitude indicator. So we know that the drone is just pitching just a little bit forward as it's coming in, more than likely going against the wind, because remember when we left it was going in a northerly direction. So now we are actually going against the wind. Now this is not something that is ideal, because normally I would say to go out against the wind when you're going out, so that it can be your friend coming in to push you back, to push you in, right? So because it's so calm, I've kind of balanced the risk factor a bit. So going further than that point, though, would have been risky business, because we definitely have winds coming against us coming back, but just not very strong winds. 5 miles per hour. This thing is rated to go far beyond that in terms of wind resistance. So I'm not putting it in any unnecessary risk, just doing a short flight coming back in. Coming under 1,200 meters, guys, at, what is this, 59% of battery power. We got 25 satellites. We got 12 minutes of flight time remaining, and we have 4 bars. So coming back, it seems that the transmission is a bit better. And I'm not surprised because the antennas are located in the legs of this drone. So when the antennas are facing towards the controller, naturally you're going to get a stronger signal. So we're approaching that mountain where we're approaching that point where we passed, where we're just going out. And I'm just checking the map here just to make sure that I'm still following that red line. Yep, I am. I can pinch to zoom in and pinch to zoom out like that. So the map is very, very handy, guys. I never fly without it. So I'm now at 600, under 600 meters and closing. I think we should come back with lots of power because we really didn't push this thing, but it just goes to show how capable this tiny drone is. Okay. So we're still coming in. We're not very far from home now. Under 400, under 500 meters and closing at about 53% of battery power. So we're nearly home, guys. And just like that, we were able to do another successful flight with the DJI Mini 2. Now, if you want to see another flight with the drone going through the fog, as I mentioned before, comment down below, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, guys. It really does help the channel to grow, and it helps us to help others in terms of flying safely and better understanding their drone. All right, so I'm just rocking the gimbal down here. I'm getting ready to land, and you can see the beautiful country landscape here. Some vehicles passing below there. So I'm just lining up so I can properly land this thing. And I like to hand catch, by the way. That's my preferred method of landing since I've mastered. If you loved this episode, if you liked this episode, if you found something useful in this episode, don't forget, guys, again, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. And until then, you know the drill. It's Jam Down Drones, over and out.